welcome to a new episode of Short Track is Polkitudinous. Today we're taking a look at Lee Yubin, just a textbook skater in short track speed skating. A talented skater out of Korea, competed in the 2017 Junior World Championships in Innsbruck, capped off the overall Junior World title there, and came 1 year later to be part of the women's 3,000 meter relay team that won the gold medal in Pyeongchang in the Olympic Winter Games, and then came on in the Olympics in 2022 in Beijing as the world ranked #1 in the women's 1500 meters. So she was unable to win any medals in that event, but she was part of the silver medal winning team in the women's 3000 meter relay. She did suffer an unfortunate shoulder injury that she's still recovering from nowadays. She is healthy now and she's trying to get back to form to compete at the international level. It will take her a lot of time, but today I want to highlight some of the stuff that she does so well. Now, obviously, if you know the skater, she has great energy management, superb tactical awareness, high emphasis on positioning, very textbook technique. She's very disciplined distance short track speed skater when it comes to racing the 15 and the 1000. She's such a disciplined skater. And she's such a quiet and humble mentality. She has such a quiet and humble mentality, doesn't get ahead of herself, and knows what she has control of, and executes it very well. And she has also perfect examples of being able to win despite not being the fastest or the strongest, but is the smartest. So we're going to take a look at what that exactly means here in the women's 1500 meter A final in Dordrecht, in the last 1500 meter race before the Olympics, where Lee Yubin managed to become the world ranked #1 going into the Olympics. So it's a really great, clever race here by Lee Yubin, and I wanted to show you this race right here. It's very interesting. Here she's in lane #7. You see a stacked field here, really just the super final. And yeah, let's get into this. Here she is at the back in position #7. Right here you see all congested, all strategic from the beginning of the race in the women's 1500. Lee Yubin just not trying to pick up the pace, but not necessarily kind of, weighing position #7 here. She's just going with the flow here at the beginning of the race. See just a stacked field here. Choi Min-jong, Seo Wei-min, Courtney Sarau, Ariana Fontana, Suzanne Schulting, and Kristen Santos. It's just stacked field, just the super final right here in the women's 1500. Lee Yubin just comes here. It's among the den of demons, essentially. Right here you see Choi Min-jong trying to make a move around the outside to position himself nearer to the front. 27.9 km per hour, very slow here early on. Schulting notices Min-jong trying to make a move, but she doesn't want that, so she picks up the pace going to the front. Courtney Sarau reacting, coming out the inside here very early on in the race, just 15 seconds into the race. But it's very tactical, the women's 1500. You see Ariana Fontana and Lee Yubin sitting very calm and composed in the back. Right here, Kristen Santos sees these skaters are all of a sudden, like they're making a move on me, they want the front that early, so all of a sudden she starts reacting here. But Choi Min-jong first, she's the one who wants to take the lead. Kristen Santos waited for those 3 skaters to stop kind of moving on the front, and she here capitalizes over their blind spot, 1, 2, 3. They can't see her at this position, but Suzanne Schulting looks and takes notice. She kind of waits for Schulting to look in front of her again, and then she comes around the outside right here with 12 laps to go. It's really tactical from that early in the race in the women's 1500. It's always very interesting to watch. She capitalized over the blind spot right here. No one can see her at this position. And by the time they notice, she will be already on the front. And see Lee Yubin, Seo Wei-min, and Ariana Fontana not closing this gap right here. Just think to say very calm, very composed with 34.3 km per hour on the back. They know that the opportunity is going to come later on in the race. Lee Yubin just sitting calmly in position #6 here. She's not picking up the pace, not even staying close to her teammate, just in the back here in position #6. Santos takes the lead here. See, Seo Wei-min right now did something very interesting. Waited for Santos to complete her move, and right away after she completed her move, she took the pass, because that's great timing. You don't expect another skater to make a pass right away. So that was great timing by Seo Wei-min to try to take the lead from Kristen Santos. I'll try to lead this one here at 11 laps to go early on in the race. She moves around the outside. Again, Lee Yubin not closing this gap between her and Suzanne Schulting. Just staying in the back here, very calm, very composed. 2 hands behind the back, very focused. Look at the focus here. So very calm, very composed. Here with 36.2 km per hour here throughout this race. And here's Seo Wei-min now, meanwhile, makes the pass tick on the outside here. She is leading this one. So Lee Yubin right now did something very interesting. She waited for all of the skaters that wanted to make a move to make the move can position themselves near the front no matter how much they want. See, Courtney Sell capitalizing over the blind spot of Chime and John comes up the inside right here. Lee Yubin still waited and waited and waited until no one was making a move at this position of the race. And then she said, I'm going to do it myself. I'm going to wait for all of you to exhaust yourself that early in the race. And I'm going to make an outside pass later on, capitalizing over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blind spots of the skaters in front of her to make a clean outside pass here in the race, 36 kilometers per hour. See, no one can see her at this position. They're all looking in front of him, capitalize over the blind spot. And by the time they will notice, she will just make the easy outside pass on the outside here early on in the race. But interesting about Lee Yubin's timing right here, that all of them have made their passes. They all kind of made the pass to position themselves near to the front. What makes Lee Yubin advantage at this position is the fact that she waited for them all to come here, take control of the race. This is a bit later in the race. Now she can have more control at this position. Now that they've already made a move, they'll now be thinking, I'll just pass her later on. But at this position, Lee Yubin had great control of the race, staying on the front 1 and 2 with her teammates Xiao Weimin, here with 9 laps to go. And you see now Courtney Sorrell making a move to position number 3, positioning herself nearer to the front. Lee Yubin now does something very interesting. In the straightaways right here, she comes out of the corner and looks behind her. She sticks a defensive deep track pattern. Now all of a sudden, Suzanne Schulting back to position number 6 here. She senses the danger and starts moving around the outside right here. Lee Yubin took notice of that and trying to pick up the speed a bit, but not put out too much so she doesn't get tired. Courtney Sorrell notices Suzanne Schulting right away. She moves around the outside right here, not allowing Schulting to take the pass, make the pass, and get in front of her. Lee Yubin notices that, trying defensive deep track pattern, but still 8.51 lap times with 8 to go. Doesn't want to exhaust herself. She knows how to manage her energy and not to get ahead of herself and just control what she has control of. And this position, 38.5 kilometers per hour. She just lets Schulting and Courtney Sorrell making a move here. So Courtney Sorrell tried to drift ahead of Lee Yubin, but Suzanne Schulting was carrying more speed at this position. She wanted the front of this position. Lee Yubin right here at a great position. After 2 skiers makes a pass, she's in position number 3 here, and that allows her to be in great control, waiting to capitalize over anything that might happen on the front. So that was great timing for her to make that outside pass early on, and let Suzanne Schulting and Courtney Sorrell right here make the pass. Suzanne Schulting here 9.38 lap times, so she wanted to lead that badly, made the outside pass here with 7 to go, and now she's controlling the race on the front. Now we see Lee Yubin here not closing this gap between Courtney Sorrell and Suzanne Schulting, just stays calm, stays composed, 9.87 lap times in position number 3 at 43.8 kilometers per hour here with 7 to go. She's not closing this gap, looking behind her, sees who might be carrying speed to take my position, and sees there is no one, therefore she takes her corner entry very comfortably right here, knowing that there is no one's coming yet. See Choi Min-jung right here, I think she's setting up outside move right here. And she capitalized over the blind spot of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 skaters in front of her, and she tries to move around the outside. Lee Yubin left this gap right here, so that's actually pretty dangerous because Choi Min-jung can come to here throughout this gap. Here with 6 to go. Choi Min-jung, Lee Yubin hasn't noticed Choi Min-jung just yet. That's why I have to keep looking behind you as much as you can. Here with 6 to go, Suzanne Schulting pushing the pace out front. Here Santos trying to capitalize, coming 1, 2 on the inside right here. Lee Yubin managed to defend her position. Choi Min-jung just settled in position number 4 right here. Ariana Fontana moving around the outside, gets into position number 5. Suzanne Schulting still pulling out the pace up front. It was a mistake by Choi Min-jung to just tuck in position number 4. That's why she ended up trapped. She had to take the lead at this position, or take the lead from Lee Yubin if she wanted to win this. But that allowed Lee Yubin to sit very comfortably in position number 3 and just wait for the opportunity to make one inside or one outside pass to win the race at 40.6 kilometers per hour. This right here, now we see this position a lot between Kim Gil-lee and Choi Min-jung nowadays. The skater who's usually nearer to the front is the one who wins, but that's obviously a different story. I'm not going to get into that. Let's watch this race right here. My point is though that the skater who's nearer to the front between the 2 Koreans are going to want kind of in position to capitalize over kind of the fighting happening in front of them to try to win the race. As you see right away, Courtney so capitalizing over the blind spot Suzanne Schulting. She takes 2 crossovers in, tries to pass right here. Lee Yubin still very calm, very composed in position number 3 right here. And if you take a look at the technique of Lee Yubin, it's really just textbook. She doesn't do anything technically special, but she's very textbook, and that's what helps her to capitalize over the fighting that's going to happen on the front right here. See coordinates Sarah with negative split, Suzanne Schulting a bit at 44.3 kilometers per hour, moving a bit quicker here, 9.45, Suzanne Schulting 9.48. So it's moving a bit quicker here. Lee Yubin 9.51, so she's not up to speed just yet with those two, but she's calm, very composed, creating this gap a bit to accelerate into later and make a pass. Just conserving her energy, two hands behind the back. Great corner exit right here, holds the centrifugal force very nicely coming out of that corner. Here with 3 laps to go. Suzanne Schulting 9.26 lap times now, getting very quick on the front. Here with 3 to go. Now Lee Yubin right here is going to take 2 crossovers in and do what's called the negative splits. She's going to get faster progressively lap by lap and try to transition that speed into a pass in front of those two scared to try to win it. So she's taking a wide track pattern right here, building speed. Here with 3 to go. She's not moving faster yet. She's progressively lap by lap getting faster. Managed to position herself in a great position number 3 here, and now she's doing the negative split to try to transition that speed into a pass to win the race. And you see while Courtney Sorrell and Suzanne Schulting fighting from the front. See Lee Yubin getting faster now, 9.15. Those two skaters have been spending a lot of time on the front. They got a bit tired here. As you can see, Kristen Santos makes a move on Chai Min-jung that hinders her speed, and that's why Lee Yubin benefited in sitting in position number 3. And that's why being nearer to the front between the two Korean skaters helped at this position. See Courtney Sorrell negative splitting Suzanne Schulting a bit, 9.19. Suzanne Schulting 9.21 right here, 44.5 km per hour. She's trying to transition that speed into a pass. And see Lee Yubin here sitting very comfortable in position number 3. She's moving quicker. She was doing the negative splits, and now she's carrying some great speed here. And she transitions that. You see Suzanne Schulting bumping with Courtney Sorrell, getting a bit wide. Suzanne Schulting leaves that small bit space on the inside. Lee Yubin got that speed of the right skate, hooking very tight, holding a centrifugal force very nicely, transitioning her 9.15 worth of speed here into a double inside pass. So went wide, and Suzanne Schulting left a bit of speed on the inside right here. He was 9.12 here with 1 lap to go. Transitions that speed into a clean inside pass on 2 skaters right here. Chai Min-jung is trapped in the back. There is no way she can make that pass right here, or anyone can make a pass right here, you know. She wasn't necessarily the strongest or the fastest skater, but Lee Yubin just positioned herself in a very clever position, in position number 3, ahead of her teammate, so she doesn't make an outside pass on her, and she doesn't kind of get harmed by a skid like Santos Griswold, who made a pass on Chai Min-jung to get in position number 4. She kind of stayed clear of that and waited for those two skaters, Suzanne Schulting and Courtney Sorrell, to make a move on each other, so they can kind of capitalize the clean inside pass at 42.6 km per hour, carrying 9.12 lap times worth of speed to transition that speed into a clean inside pass. And all of a sudden, you know, she's not the fastest or the strongest, but with half a lap to go, she's on the front. You know, she outsmarted all of these skaters right here. And this just is a perfect, just a beautiful example of tactics, the emphasis on tactics in short track speed skating. Her strategy here worked out very well. And it's just a clean, clever race by Lee Yubin right here. She's not the fastest, not the strongest, not the oldest, but the smartest skater, and she comfortably lunges for the line and wins the race. She made that look so easy. It's a great, clean, clever race by Lee Yubin, and just all pride at that position. She gets the honor of beating all of the skaters and becoming the world ranked number 1 in the women's 1500. She was definitely elated after winning this race. You know, it's very interesting. She was not the fastest or the strongest, but tactically she managed to outsmart the skaters around her and be on the front with half a lap to go. To just masterclass race by Lee Yubin at such a young age. And she goes on right here. Here's the official results. Lee Yubin 2:21.931. She wins here and becomes the world ranked number 1 in the women's 1500 meters going into the Olympics. Unfortunately, she couldn't quite cap up any individual results following through. She got an injury, shoulder injury, that she's trying to recover from even nowadays. I mentioned that earlier. So it'll be interesting to see if she can get back to form. But here was a kind of highlight of what this skater Lee Yubin is capable of and her absolute best when she's fit and ready to compete. Just a very, very great, clever, clean race by Lee Yubin here in the women's 1500 meter in Dordrecht in the 2021-2022 season. Just a textbook, very clever, very clean performance by Lee Yubin to win the 1500 meter here. And yeah, that's all I wanted to show you for today. Lee Yubin, just a textbook skater. And yeah, thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.